Welcome back my channel, Rare Coin World. Today video, Jefferson Nickel. If you have a 1953 Liberty Jefferson Nickel in your collection, it might just turn the tables for you. Many collectors have overlooked this humble coin. But what if I told you that a few rare versions of this nickel have been sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars? Stick around until the end of this video because we'll reveal the actual prices from eBay and other online auctions and how you can find out the real value of your own coin. The Jefferson Nickel, introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel and quickly became one of America's most iconic 5-cent coins. By 1953, the United States Mint was producing these coins in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint had its own production quirks, and that's what makes some 1953 Jefferson Nickels far more valuable than others. The obverse side features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, symbolizing liberty, knowledge, and the democratic spirit of the United States. The reverse side proudly displays Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, surrounded by the inscriptions E pluribus unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. But within this seemingly simple design lie the secrets that separate an ordinary coin from a rare treasure. The 1953 Jefferson Nickel was struck in large numbers, but certain varieties and mint errors have become highly collectible today. Coins from the San Francisco Mint with the S mint mark, for example, often have sharper strikes and cleaner details, making them more desirable among collectors. Meanwhile, coins from the Denver Mint D mint mark sometimes display die cracks or doubling errors, which can dramatically increase their value. Over the years, collectors have discovered fascinating varieties of this coin, including the full steps version where the steps on Monticello are completely visible and sharply struck. These coins are rare, especially in high grades, because most nickels from the 1950s show wear or weak strikes due to the minting technology of that era. A 1953 Jefferson Nickel with full steps can fetch impressive prices depending on its condition. Now let's talk about what really excites collectors' value. On eBay and other online auction platforms, prices for the 1953 Jefferson Nickel vary widely. Common circulated coins might sell for only a few cents to a couple of dollars. But when you find one in uncirculated or proof-like condition, the story changes completely. Coins graded MS-65 or higher with full steps have been sold at auction for anywhere between $500 and $1,500, and in some rare cases even higher depending on luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. One standout example was a 1953 D Jefferson Nickel that sold for more than $1,200 at a major auction due to its pristine mint condition and full steps detail. Another rare 1953 S specimen, 1984 Liberty Jefferson Nickel lying around in your drawer or coin jar. It might just turn the tables for you. What appears to be an ordinary 5-cent coin could actually be worth a surprising amount of money today. Many collectors have recently paid shocking prices for certain 1984 Jefferson Nickels on eBay and other online auctions, and you could be sitting on one without even knowing it. So stick around till the end of the video because I'll share how much your coin might be worth, what makes it valuable, and how you can sell it for top dollar. The 1984 Jefferson Nickel is one of those coins that has quietly gained attention among collectors over the years. Struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was modernizing its production, this nickel carries both historical charm and collector interest. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. The design had been a part of American coinage since 1938, and by 1984 it was still one of the most recognized coins in circulation. What makes the 1984 nickel so special isn't just its history, it's the details that set some of these coins apart. There were 2 main mint locations responsible for striking the 1984 nickels, one of the most valuable varieties of the 1984 Jefferson Nickel is the full steps variety, On the reverse side, look closely at Monticello. The building steps are a key detail. If all 5 or 6 steps are sharply defined without any breaks, you have what's known as a full steps coin. Collectors pay premium prices for these because they indicate a strong, well-preserved strike. Some 1984D full steps nickels have sold for hundreds or even over $1,000 depending on their grade. Another major reason these coins can be valuable is mint errors. The 1984 nickels are known for some fascinating error varieties, including off-center strikes, double-die obverses, and clipped planchets. These minting mistakes make each coin unique and can send its value skyrocketing. For example, one 1984 Jefferson Nickel with a strong double-die error sold for several $100 on eBay, while an off-center strike example in excellent condition brought in more than 500 at auction. According to eBay and other online platforms, circulated 1984 nickels typically sell for a few cents up to a couple of dollars depending on condition. However, when you move into uncirculated and certified grades, especially MS66 or MS67, the value can increase dramatically. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC, the top certification authorities, often sell for hundreds of dollars. In one notable sale, a 1984D Jefferson Nickel graded MS67 full step sold for nearly $500, proving that collectors are willing to pay big money for the best examples. Proof coins also play a role in the 1984 nickel market. Proof versions, which bear the S mint mark from the San Francisco Mint, were made for collectors and are known for their mirror-like surfaces. If you have a Liberty Jefferson nickel from 1940, this video might completely turn the tables for you. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin sitting in your drawer could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Sounds unbelievable, right? But the truth is, certain 1940 Jefferson nickels have fetched surprising amounts at auctions and online platforms like eBay. So stick around until the end, because I'll reveal how much these coins are actually worth today and how you can sell them for top dollar. The Jefferson nickel, introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel and featured the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on its obverse. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin's reverse shows Jefferson's home, Monticello, which symbolizes his legacy and connection to American history. The 1940 edition came out just before the United States entered World War II, making it one of the last standard nickels before wartime metal. Changes affected coin compositions during this era. The mint was producing coins in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1940 Jefferson nickel carries no mint mark for Philadelphia, while Denver coins show a small D and San Francisco coins display an S. These little letters might seem unimportant, but they make a huge difference when it comes to a coin's value. What makes the 1940 Liberty Jefferson nickel fascinating is the quality of its strike and the details of Monticello's steps on the reverse. Collectors call this the full steps variety, and if your coin shows all 6 clear steps, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on its condition. Many of these coins were weakly struck, so finding one with crisp, full steps is like finding treasure in your change jar. So how do you know if your coin is special? Start by checking for the mint mark and the clarity of details, especially around Jefferson's hair and the Monticello steps. Examine whether your coin has been well preserved or has any visible mint errors. A magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can reveal features that aren't visible to the naked eye. If you find your coin is in great shape, or you suspect it has an error, you can have it graded by professional companies like PCGS or NGC. A graded coin not only verifies authenticity, but also, imagine turning a small coin that's been sitting in your pocket for years into a collector's dream piece worth thousands. That's the magic of numismatics, the science and art of coin collecting. It's not just about money. It's about uncovering pieces of history that survived decades of circulation. And if you're wondering how to sell such coins, don't worry. I'll help with that part too. There are multiple ways online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, or even local coin dealers who specialize in US coins. But before you sell, make sure you know exactly what you have. 1952 Liberty Jefferson Nickel in your collection. It might just turn the tables for you. This small 5-cent coin could be worth far more than you imagine. What if that simple nickel sitting in your change jar or tucked away in an old drawer was actually a hidden treasure that collectors are paying hundreds or even thousands of dollars for today? Stick around until the end of this video because we're going to talk about its real market value according to eBay and other major auction platforms, and how you can find out if your coin is one of the valuable ones. The story of the Jefferson Nickel begins in 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel, bringing with it a fresh design that honored one of America's most important founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Jefferson, designed by the talented artist Felix Schlag, whose design became iconic for its balance, simplicity, and elegance. The reverse side proudly displays Jefferson's home, Monticello, a symbol of architectural beauty and Jefferson's legacy as both a statesman and a scholar. By 1952, the United States was recovering from the effects of World War II, and the mint was producing Jefferson nickels in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. Each of these mints had unique production characteristics that make their coins distinct today. The Philadelphia coins were minted in large numbers, while the Denver and San Francisco mints had smaller outputs, giving certain mint marks added rarity and higher value for collectors. The 1952 Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a total mintage exceeding 113 million across all 3 mints. While most of these coins were circulated heavily, a small number were carefully preserved or struck with exceptional detail. These are the coins that fetch high prices at auction. Today, one of the key features collectors look for in this series is the full steps variety. If the steps on Monticello are clearly visible and fully defined, the coin earns a full steps designation, significantly boosting its value. The majority of 1952 nickels show weak strikes, so finding one with crisp detail is rare and highly prized. Over the years, collectors have discovered that the 1952D and 1952S nickels tend to be scarcer in higher grades. A well-struck coin with bright luster and minimal wear can easily attract the attention of serious buyers. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC in mint state, 65 or higher, can sell for hundreds of dollars, while pristine examples with full steps can climb into the thousands. On eBay, prices for circulated 1952 nickels usually start from just a few cents to a few dollars, depending on their condition. However, when we step into the realm of graded and certified coins, the story changes entirely. For instance, a 1952D Jefferson Nickel graded MS67 full steps. 1947 Liberty Jefferson Nickel. This might just turn the tables for you. That small 5-cent coin lying unnoticed in your drawer or pocket change could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Some of these nickels are selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars on eBay and other online auctions. So stick around until the end of the video, because I'm going to tell you exactly how much this coin is worth and how you can sell it for maximum profit. The Liberty Jefferson Nickel holds a remarkable place in American numismatic history. Introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, it was designed by Felix Schlag, whose artwork brought a timeless elegance to the coin. On the obverse, we see the noble portrait of Thomas Jefferson, America's 3rd president, while the reverse features his famous home, Monticello, standing as a symbol of knowledge, strength, and innovation. By 1947, the United States Mint had fully transitioned out of the wartime composition nickels that contained silver. From 1942 to 1945, nickels were struck with a mix of copper, silver, and manganese due to wartime metal shortages. But in 1946, the mint returned to the pre-war composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. That makes the 1947 Jefferson Nickel one of the first issues to reintroduce the standard alloy after the war, representing a return to normalcy in American coinage. The 1947 Nickels were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco. Each mint produced millions of coins, but as collectors know, not all coins are created equal. The quality of the strike, the presence of mint marks, and the condition of the coin all play major roles in determining its value. Today, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 95 million nickels that year, while Denver minted around 37 million, and San Francisco about 24 million. Despite the high mintage, many of these coins circulated heavily, leaving only a small number of well-preserved examples in near-perfect condition. Those uncirculated pieces are what collectors crave, especially if they display the full steps detail on Monticello, an indication of a sharp, high-quality strike. Collectors and investors pay special attention to those full steps nickels. Why? Because they are much harder to find. Most coins from 1947 show weak strikes where the steps on Monticello appear faint or blended together. If your coin has those steps completely visible and separated, it can fetch a serious premium at auction. On eBay, prices for circulated 1947 Jefferson Nickels usually range between a few cents and a couple of dollars, depending on their condition and mint mark. However, once we enter the realm of graded and certified coins, the value changes dramatically. For instance, a 1947D Jefferson Nickel graded MS67 full steps by PCGS has sold for over $1,500 in past auctions. Similarly, a 1947S in high mint state condition, Liberty Jefferson Nickel from 1976. This video might completely turn the tables for you. Many people don't realize that a simple 5-cent coin, one that's probably lying unnoticed in your drawer or piggy bank, could actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It might sound unbelievable, but some rare 1976 Jefferson Nickels have sold for incredible prices online. Stick around until the end, because I'll tell you exactly how much these coins are worth according to eBay and other auction platforms, and how you can sell them for maximum profit. The Jefferson Nickel has a long and proud legacy in American coinage. First introduced in 1938, this iconic coin replaced the famous Buffalo nickel and has remained in continuous production for more than 8 decades. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, it features the dignified portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States, on the obverse side. On the reverse, the image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, stands as a lasting symbol of American heritage and architectural beauty. Now the mid-26. Liberty Jefferson Nickel has a particularly interesting place in history. That year, the United States was celebrating its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. While most of the spotlight that year was on the special bicentennial designs of the quarter, half-dollar and dollar coins, the humble nickel continued with its traditional Jefferson and Monticello design. However, that doesn't mean it isn't valuable. In fact, some 1976 nickels have become prized collector items because of their unique minting errors, condition and rarity. But here's where it gets fascinating. Certain mint error nickels from 1976 have fetched incredible sums. For instance, off-center strikes, double die errors, and full-step varieties have been listed on eBay and Heritage auctions for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Coins that clearly show full steps on the Monticello building are especially valuable. This term means all 6 steps on the design are fully visible and sharply struck. There have been remarkable auction examples where top-graded 1976 Jefferson Nickels sold for more than $1,000. For example, a 1976D Jefferson Nickel graded MS67 full steps once reached a final bid of over $1,500, making it one of the most valuable nickels of that year. Proof coins are another story altogether. The 1976 S-proof nickels, especially those with deep cameo contrast, are highly collectible. If you have a proof coin in its original government packaging, or if it's been certified by a professional grading service, you could be sitting on a very valuable piece. Some deep cameo 1976S proofs have sold for more than $250. You might be wondering, why would a modern coin like the 1976 nickel be worth so much? Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe again. Thanks.